This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We three friends on a podcast together again. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We talk about what's been going on and what's happening. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We got Dro, Koncreto, DJ Blenz. We are the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We are the 1, 2, 3 wise men. This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men.
Look, there's the 3 wise men.
Direct from Victoria, we got DJ Blenz. We got
what up?
Koncreto out in Illinois, and you got myself, Dro, in the Pacific Northwest in the state of Washington. Here live in the podcast. How you guys doing?
Not too bad, man.
Doing good. Today was kind of a weird day with the weather, but pulled through, right?
How's everything looking out there in Illinois?
It's fucking sunny out here, man. It's nice.
You guys are at full summer weather now, huh?
Yeah, I fucking mowed my lawn all day today, man. After work.
After work, man.
Yeah.
You can pop out the barbecue. No barbecue.
No barbecue today. We cheated. I had fucking McDonald's.
Oh,
What?
What?
Yeah.
When was the last time you had McDonald's?
Last week.
What? You cheated, creep.
In case you guys don't know, listening, we want to welcome everybody. Thanks for, listening into our podcast. I mean, it took a lot of practice and it took a lot of experimenting to get to where we are right now.
Definitely.
We have a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit of yourself, Koncreto? Tell everybody what you're into and, how we all kind of met. And then let's tell our story so we can introduce ourselves to everybody listening.
Geraldo Martinez, Dominican, American, Canadian, a little bit of everything.
Just a little sprinkle.
Raised in Vancouver. Met you, George, and Alex. We started making music at a young age. We all grew up making music, and all of us have moved from Vancouver. I moved out to Illinois. You're living in Seattle, Joe?
Yep.
Or close to Seattle, and George in Victoria?
Yep.
Victoria out there, man. We
met on the island.
Yeah.
So in case all the listeners listening, man, I mean, it took a lot of, we've known each other throughout the years. We've done music. You've had DJ Blenz, doing the Vancouver scene with DJing, having mixtapes. And then you've had Koncreto out there, making all this music, featuring, doing shows, and then myself making shows. Back in the days, used to produce, but it's been a while. I mean, we all decided to, gather in and, reunite. It's been a while. I mean, it's great to have everybody listening. I mean, we have a couple topics. I mean, this type of show is not going to be like
all 2 listeners listening right now.
But the idea is here, so let's roll.
It's going to grow. It's going to grow,
you guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, it takes a lot of practice. I mean, with the quarantine, the entire world in the pandemic, and with all these race riots and all this fucked up shit going around, it's good to have like a good vibe, kind of like you're chilling in your living room or in your car or wherever you're driving.
Yeah.
It's great. What do you think, Blenz?
Yeah, with all the stuff going on. Well, let me introduce myself. I'm DJ Blenz. Started DJing back in like 99, I think, 1999. For the longest time, you guys, I thought it was 97. I don't know why.
Started 97, man. That's crazy.
It was 99 for me, technically, in grade 10. I was in grade 10 or 98, 99. Let's just say 99. So yeah, I started making like little mixes on the computer and just started putting them out on like CDs, and burning CDs. I would make like mixes for people and stuff. And
oh man, people don't know the struggle.
Definitely after high school, like, I knew Waldo since like I was a kid, and then I heard he rapped. So then I had messaged him. I don't know how it happened, but like we started making like these 1-minute click songs, and then Alejandro, I don't think he went to Best, right?
I went to Best, but then I transferred to Centennial, and that's where history was made after making that move.
From there, basically, in Centennial, that's where it all came together from there. And then I remember when Hollow Tip Records was your label.
Well, yeah, man, I mean, I didn't want to interrupt you, but going back, want to say rest in peace to Carlos. He's the one who actually introduced us to. I mean, he introduced all you guys. It was crazy because that move, without even thinking about it, made the move to like get to know you, get to know, Koncreto. I remember back in the days he used to be that smoker. That's for another day, another story. But I mean, that was a good time, man. I mean, we all kind of came from our own different angle, and we all kind of blended into the pot and brought what we did, man. I mean, yeah, go on, man. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, he was a link, definitely. Like, you put in perfect words. Like, he told me about Holotip Records and you, Alejandro, and he's like, "Yo, there's."
I didn't name it Holotip, so it's just make it clear. It wasn't my name. I didn't come up with it.
This was years ago. This was like 2003 or 4, I think. He told me, "Oh, there's this record label. Like, you should be their DJ." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So then I messaged Alejandro, and then you knew Waldo too, right? Is that how it came about with you guys with music? You guys made the music first, right?
So no, actually, it's fucking trippy because this is the truth. Carlos introduced me to Koncreto, right?
Yeah.
I was introduced to you by Carlos, but I really didn't even know who you were. He actually added somehow. Back in the days, in case people don't know, especially all the young listeners, right? Back in the days, we didn't have text messaging the way we do now. We didn't have WhatsApp. What we had was MSN Messenger, and that's how everybody used to communicate with each other. You know, sending files, music, whatever, right? So I remember when Carlos somehow gave you my contact, and you added me, and I was telling Steph this the other day. I'm like, I remember when before I knew who Blenz was, he was like, "Hey man, making any recordings anytime soon? Hey, want to check out my mix? Hey," and I'm like, "Who's this? Who's this?"
I'm just plugging my mixes in. I'm like, that's what I did though. That's the thing. Like, I was DJing and just making mixes for fun, right? So like when that came about, like because of the group with you guys, I decided to take it to the next level, and eventually I invested in like turntables.
Yeah,
like I bought a MacBook, and then
you remember that story, right? We drove all the way. We drove all the way to West Vancouver back in the days, man.
So since the Latin style days, we've been all together and just making music since then. Like, we literally took it legit when all of us started making the music in Alejandro's basement. And I feel like from that point on, we like kept this brotherhood alive, and it's just been we've all had our journey with our music and stuff.
It's truly like a family, man. Ups and downs, smiles and frowns, and the crazy thing is that at the end of the day, everybody's still together, right? That's exactly the thing. And you know, going back to the way I met Koncreto, it actually wasn't through I met Carlos. Carlos introduced me to Koncreto, but back in the days, a little throwback story. Koncreto was the guy who Koncreto was the guy who actually was always smoking weed. The nickname Popeye from Blood In Blood Out because of the ponytail. Yeah. I had no idea Koncreto's fucking rap, man. It wasn't until I was working at a gas station and a mutual friend named Yuri, I don't know if Yuri's listening to this, he's actually telling me, "Hey man, I got this rapper, man, you got to record with him because I heard that you record music." I'm like, "Who's this rapper?" He just played it on his headphones. You know, we're pumping gas and he's just playing it. I'm like, this dude is fucking dope. He's like, "Guess who it is?" I'm like, "Who?" "It's Flacco." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Flacco. And then right away, I'm like, I messaged Yuri when I got home. I'm like, "Yo, man, you got to give me Flacco's fucking MSN Messenger." And then I added Flacco. I'm like, "Flacco, man, I had no idea you rap. You got to come down here." And I know Koncreto doesn't remember this, but one of the first songs we recorded was to that beat, the Renegades. Was it the Renegade? Eminem and Jay-Z.
Eminem. That's what you say, but I don't
So
remember recording that.
At the time we had one of the first DVRs, right? And then I remember that I was actually listening to the Telemundo with Maria Celeste, and she started talking about the Dominican Republic, and then she was talking about that guy from Coquitlam who murdered the pigs or whatever.
Yeah.
Robert Bacon.
I somehow managed to DVR that shit and mix it all together, and then put it part of the intro where it was like,
bro. Now that you say that,
I do remember that. Yeah. That had the news, right?
Yeah.
And that was literally like our first recording, I think, bro.
And then right after that, it took off, man. Because I remember, man. I told my niece and everybody. I just messaged everybody randomly from East Vancouver to Coquitlam to everywhere, man. I'm like, "Hey, listen to this guy, man. Listen to this guy." And then next thing you know, everybody was just like, "Oh, who the fuck is this guy?" Right away, fucking Koncreto had some fan club people messaging me. It's like, "Who's this guy? I want to fucking follow him on Messenger and shit." So we decided to say, "Hey man, let's do the Realism album." That was like an EP that we did just quickly, you know. It was just, we had John Wong who produced on that. We just had a bunch of like,
shout outs to John Wong.
Yeah, listening too, man. We go way back. Everybody does, man. And in the hall party, remember you did the first hall party?
Yeah,
we came up with the idea.
Yeah.
We luckily, hopefully we don't, not trying to incriminate ourselves, but we're selling liquor and shit at this hall party in East Vancouver. Fucking everybody's like 18, 17.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I
time.
remember that party. I was getting upset too. I was like, man, everyone kept bumping into my table, and the needles would like jump on the record. And I'm like, damn,
That's
this
crazy,
sucks.
right?
It was bothering me, but managed to pull through. Turned out well.
It was great,
Um,
man. And then for the people that don't know, is eventually that's somehow how we transformed into Latin style, and we became kind of like a. It was like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Death row.
Nope,
A collective.
like a collective. Yeah,
It was
we
like a collective. A bunch of us.
we were like a United States. Like we were, every state had their own right thing,
Mhm.
but we all kind of united together, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then after that shit, fucking egos.
I'm laughing because like slowly people just started. It started like it was like three of us three, and then slowly you started like integrating people, and then before you knew it, it was like there was this fucking picture that was going around of Latin style, and it was literally like a fucking whole group of people like photoshopped into this one banner, and it was like Latin style East, Latin style West, Latin style
South.
fucking South.
Latin style America, Latin style.
But that was cool though.
That shit was fucking.
That
cool,
whole
bro.
experience with making the music with you guys was a really good experience, man. Like that's
It was.
man.
You know how like Block Royal did, like how it was. We were like on some Block Royal shit before we even knew what the fuck Block Royal was.
We were. I mean, I was. The concept was not. You know, the truth is, the idea that I had before we became like Latin style was that I just thought Latin style would be like a Def Jam recording. It's like we're just a recording, the kind of like a distribution thing,
Yeah.
and then people under that wing but doing their own thing. That was the idea that I actually was thinking at the time. But I mean, it just when you have too many people in the mix, it just gets overcrowded. You know what I mean? And then
yeah.
Definitely.
But I
Yeah,
mean, the idea was dope, man, and I think
that
it
was
was cool because during that time, like we were able to meet so many people from fucking everywhere.
You remember our first show? Blenz was in there. We did a first show at a hall party.
It was like a
Carlitos G.
basement, but it was like in the basement of the hall.
We couldn't get a hold of Flacco, man. He was coming straight out of New York. We couldn't get a hold of him. We went to every house and we found him finally. He was wearing these pink Nikes because the Fat Joe video had come out.
No, it wasn't Fat Joe. It was Cameron.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Dipset. What?
And he came out there, man. We were just practicing our rhymes on the side of the street. The next thing you know, before me and Flacco were looking around, and then you see like all these people just watching us. And then we did our first set, and then the guy's like, "Hey, can you do a second set? Can you do the third set?" We were doing the same set like 4 times.
4 times in an hour.
That's awesome.
fun,
But yeah,
man.
that was a good time when we all linked up, and that's how we became whatever we were then. And then we started this off now too. Now we're doing the podcast.
Yeah,
Bro, we weren't even, I remember that we didn't even get paid for that night, but we fucking, people started like putting money in a hat for us. You remember that?
That's awesome.
Keep in mind, man, it's not that we never had, it's not that we didn't have love for Blenz, but at the time, Blenz didn't have a DJ set
That's
yet.
true.
Like,
No, that's
only had
why
your
I had to
EP,
take it to the next level with this. Like when I got that, it was like we were like officially a full group, I guess we could say.
Yeah, I remember, man. You went to Tom Lee, and then you're like, man, everybody has. It wasn't until we did our first legit show at Atlantis, was it, where you found out that people were using Serato?
Yeah. I think.
And then we're like, we got to get that. And then he's like, there's only one left, and it's in like West Vancouver. I'm like, okay, Blenz, let's go. I'm like, right now? Like, yeah, let's do it. We drove. We drove so long.
That shit was expensive too when I first. It was like $900 or $800, I think, just for that.
How much is it now?
I don't even. They have like upgraded versions now, so like it'll probably be almost the same, maybe less. I'm not sure. I haven't bought Serato because
What do you use now, Blenz?
Serato, but it's already installed into my controller. Like it just plugs into my laptop, and it gave me a disc to. I think I installed it, or it just automatically installed once I plugged it into my USB.
Okay.
From what I remember, though, it's like now they got monthly plans and shit like that. Like,
yeah, there's like Serato Studios.
So much
you can actually make beats on the program now. Like you can flip your own beats as a DJ. You can make your own parts to your mixes and stuff. So
I've seen that on a lot of live stories on my Instagram. I've seen people like just doing random like remixes and shit.
Yeah,
shit's easy, but you know the bad thing in my opinion is that with all that, the more they becomes simplified, more people are going to start doing it, and then it's going to become oversaturated to the point where everybody's just going to be doing it, and then it's not going to be special anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? What do you think about that?
Yeah,
but
I agree, man. I agree. But it's like everything, man. So when people like something and everybody catches on, then like it just people flood the shit, and it becomes too much for everybody, you know.
You know what I realized? Like I got my gear all hooked up. I figured out how to like live stream. But during this whole quarantine, I got the monitors. I got these adapters to like plug into my phone so I can live stream and stuff. And I realized I've only live streamed once this whole quarantine. I'm like, why haven't I been live streaming more?
It's commercialism, man. It's commercial. They make you, oh, DJs, you got to buy this now. They're just fucking, you know.
A lot of copyrights going on too with Facebook and on Instagram. They're the same thing anyways. But on Twitch, you can actually do live streams and not have copyrighted. I don't know why. It actually works a matter on Twitch. Of time. They're like legit. And same with Mixcloud. You guys have heard of Mixcloud? It's like the DJ version of SoundCloud, whatever. You can actually pay as well to be on there for monthly plans and stuff to live stream.
Okay. They probably own the rights to the music. They probably own the rights to the music, and then they're just going to sell it off or whatever. Well, right?
No, I think the artists actually get a cut from every stream, and that's how they get paid.
Blenz, have you ever thought of doing making an app, bro, like with your mixers?
Possibly. That's a great question, but I've never thought of making an app. That's a lot of work, I think. I don't know how to program and do all that stuff, decoding and stuff.
But it wouldn't that's way above like what you know how to do, like, and anybody really. But you would have to find somebody and
to design the app, right?
Yeah, just something simple and somewhere where you can literally just upload your fucking mixes as you finish.
You know what? I was actually doing that with Cito and Flight Academy, and I was putting the songs on the computer, and then they would launch on the Mix Cartel radio app. And music would transfer from there onto the streaming platform part. So it's doable. We just got to find, I forget what source we use for that, but someone has to develop the app though for that to work together, which I've got to do a lot of work, but that'd be sweet to do that.
You could do it, bro. Yeah. I think you should, man. I mean, you've gotten your fucking DJ shit. Like, I mean, you've stepped your game up. You know what you're doing. So I think you should do it, bro.
You know, the crazy thing is if you actually look at it, man, it's the years of experience, man.
Yeah.
True.
Like, think about it. We started back.
We all got this experience now. Like Waldo's raps nowadays, we're like, God damn, man, they're getting just sicker and sicker as you get older.
You know what's fucked? Like, it's just so easy.
It's so natural for you, man.
Yeah, it's so easy to
natural
write now.
for you. It's crazy.
Writing is just like
Christina's man. Go ahead. Sorry, I just interrupted you.
No, keep telling me how Christina thinks.
Christina was like, man, Waldo's got this secret hidden talent, like, because you weren't rapping for a while, right? And she heard, I showed her one of the songs with the Jeeves, and she's like, wow, like, he's got such a good talent. Like, good thing that you're putting in like all your music out again, man.
You know, honestly, personally, I think the future approach to go with is also helping young artists, man. Like a lot of young artists, because if you steer the younger generation into the right path, not only are you keeping them away from trouble, because there's so many distractions right now. And there was distractions even when we were growing up, but the distractions are to a different level. Plus, you're also helping them steer music back to what it's supposed to be. Because, there's so many like, quick gimmick songs that are out there that are just being released over and over. And then there's just this fucking destroying music, in my opinion, man.
A lot of viral stuff going on now. So if you're like,
it's dope, man. I mean, I think it's great. Like your cousin. I mean, I wasn't around really listening back when he was young, but seeing how you've shown me the things that he was doing back in the days to now, it's like they all go under your wing, man. It's crazy. It's
total progression, totally.
That's dope.
But yeah, you like that song that you guys made, the English Dembo?
Yeah.
Fire, man.
Yeah, I like that.
You putting that out on the platform, right?
I will, but I want to find a way to promote the shit first. Like I want to promote the other ones first before I start. I'm listening to Dro's advice because it's pointless to just release like song after song. People don't even get a chance to hear it and shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, in case you guys don't know, I was taking marketing in college and I actually dropped out. I kind of regret it, but the thing is that I remember that they were always talking about strategies. You know what I mean? These record companies just in general, and it wasn't based on music. It was just based in commercials and shit, right? But it was like something that you actually have to strategize what are you trying to release out there? You know what I mean? Because you don't want to, I'm not going to say names or nothing like that, but you don't want to be like certain artists that just keep dropping an entire album every fucking, month or something like that.
Yeah.
You kind of take out one single and roll with it for like at least a couple months, and then take that same single and go to another market and keep rolling with it, And then once everybody gets to know you, then you release another one, and then you strategically release that shit. You don't have to like throw all your good songs into one basket. You know what I mean? And then just now you got to write a whole new album again, and then waste more money.
I think to be honest, I feel like I want to stick to Latin music. Just I don't know what it is.
You know what's fucked, bro? That I started recording, like I got my setup and shit, right? And I have a few verses, like I have a few songs that I've done in English, but for some reason, if I've recorded, since I got my setup, if I've recorded 15 songs, I'd say that like 3 of them are in English and fucking the rest of them are fucking in Spanish. I don't know why. Like it's just,
I can tell you why, man.
I have more, but you know why it is, Dro? It's because I've been listening to a lot of Spanish.
Well,
I don't even listen to English rap anymore.
So there's 2 reasons. This is just my opinion, right? I'm not saying I'm like the sorcerer and knows shit, right? My 2 opinions is, number 1, English music is oversaturated because they're just trying to push it and just to make a quick dollar, because artists don't make money anymore from album sales anymore. It's all based on shows. That's so strange. Their idea is that they want to cut down the cost. People think that by getting signed to a recording label means that you're going to become a millionaire. No, it's a fucking
it doesn't mean anything.
It's like getting a mortgage and you got to pay it all back.
It's a loan, basically, right?
And then whatever's left over, that's your profit. So you got all these artists that don't really want to focus on releasing an album. Instead, they want to release a top single and then, perform out there and collect money from shows and shit. And then number 2, as a result of that, I feel like Spanish music has actually taken it to a different level and has become more lyrical with more meaning. It's not just, quick, bullshit. Like it's actually, you listen to every song out there, man. It fucking has a meaning. You know what I mean? And I think that's why with maturity and everything like that, I feel that that's why you're feeling more of the music, because I find myself listening to more Spanish music myself. I haven't even really been listening to rap music at all, man.
Back in the day, because Letty, like she did marketing and shit too, right? And she always told me, she's like, you have to focus on like a target audience. Like she's like, you can't want to do like everything. I'm like
everything at once.
I'm like, fuck that. I'm a fucking all around artist. I can rap and I can sing and I can sing salsa and bachata and rap in the same fucking song.
and dance in the video for it.
She's like, okay, that's good that you think that you could do that, but you probably can't.
You got it all wrong.
Well, think about it. Why do you think Latin style was so successful? Because we knew our target market.
Yeah, we focused on one fucking type of person.
And we would shout out the name of the cities, the areas we were in. People could relate to that, and if people can relate to that, they will keep coming back for more. It's just like any other business, man. You produce a product that they actually need, and they'll keep coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can relate to the Spanish music out there. I listen to a lot of music that just touches the soul. You know what I mean? I can't relate to like, I don't know what the latest trend is right now, or the latest viral song out there.
TikTok, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I keep hearing now with Diego too. He's just like TikTok.
But you got to understand too that target market, that's a different market, right? Like that English music will still work for them, but for people just in a general base, it's a whole different story, man. Like
totally.
I think what you're doing is great. You're sitting on like a pot of gold, Flaco.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that it's just about now strategizing your marketing. You want to, in my opinion, you just want to push it to places, the barriers you've never been to before, man.
Yeah, straight up, man. Straight up.
Like, because the people that know you already know you. But if you go out there to people that have never heard you, it's new to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
Straight up, man.
So, man, it's fucking out here, man. We're just, once again, thanks to all the people listening to this podcast.
No doubt. I appreciate all the people listening. But we're missing one more thing on this whole like music talk. We need Dro to get back in the game too. We're waiting for that record.
It is.
Everyone's doing something right now, Dro. We're just waiting for you to come join us.
Man, I took a...
When's that going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, soon. Let's put it that way.
Nice.
And I'm doing it more for like I told Flaco, like for the soul, like for the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really just to have fun with it, man.
I think you should have fun with it. I'm just having fun with it too right now. Like I'm enjoying all this stuff we're doing right now. And hearing Flaco again just like energizes me to like want to do more music too. Like just hearing him rap and then just it's awesome. Like
it's crazy.
Like hopefully me and him, what we're doing, will spark it in you, and then we'll have three of us on one song once again.
I think it already did, bro. I think it already did.
The crazy thing is when I'm at work or I'm sitting and I'm not gonna tell everybody who's listening what I do, but when we're like in meetings and shit, people will start talking about, oh, this person's a rapper or whatever. And I'm just there sitting there. Like nobody has a clue that I ever did music or anything like that.
Bro, it's funny. It's funny that it's funny you bring that up because I've never been the type of person like they'll literally be like a crowd of people like saying, oh yeah, I rapped for this many years and I did this. And I'm never that guy that shows up and says, oh, I did this. And like, I've never said that. And actually while I was living in Dominican, bro, there was, it was cool, man. Cause I was working at this call center and we all spoke like perfect English. Cause we were all pretty much Americanized Dominicans that were living in Dominican at the time. Yeah. So they were all like freestyling and shit and like, and fucking, just, and then all of a sudden I came in and dude, I just fucking worked all of them. And they're like, what the fuck? They're like, dude, you can fucking rap. I'm like, yeah, man, I can rap. It's like,
how long you been rapping for since yesterday?
so check this out. We did our first show back in 06, right? Oh, actually 05, because that was a Latin festival. That's when we had it. If it wasn't for that hiccup at that Latin festival, everything possibly that you can think of
was that 2006? Was that
2005? That was 2005. So we had like the turntables not working.
15 years ago.
Yeah, we had the turntables not working, right? We had like the microphone feedback. Everything was just, and we actually remember when we got in that car. None of us were talking to each other. We were just hurt. We were like,
I fucking hated you guys. I didn't even want to.
But we did talk for like a week, I think, a couple of days. I remember that feeling.
And then in 06, this following summer, because that was August, because the Latin Festival in Vancouver is always in August. The following year, we did Atlantis in 06. That was our makeup. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I got my niece and nephew, who were born in 2005, and my sister just randomly was cleaning, and she's like, "Hey, did you know your uncle used to rap?" He's like, "Nah." They're like on their iPads and shit, and then she play like videos and shit, from our shows, and they show you rapping and everybody. They just start tripping out. We're like, "What the fuck, you guys? When was this happening?" Like,
no kidding.
Felt like the B sharps. It felt like Homer Simpson and the B sharps. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
It's crazy how time flies, man. That's 15 years ago, man.
Bro, so I was about to ask you. So that Latin Fest that we did, that was 2005. If that was 2005, and we were all like, we had already been rapping for at least like 2 or 3 years as Latin style.
As Holotip, remember 02.
Yeah, well, as the whole group,
as collective,
yeah. I mean, so it was like 18 years ago then. I want to say.
Yeah, the first rapper that actually signed to Holotip.
Kofi?
No. It was Carlos.
Carlos, yeah.
He signed that shit. He even got that Latin style shit tattooed on the side, man.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember that. That was big.
That was crazy. I'll never forget the times like when we would go to Home Depot to try to build our booth, and then he was rapping, and we just leave the phone, and he just rapping, and when we came back, he was still rapping on that shit.
Yeah. That's when he moved to Alberta, right? He was like,
I don't know. He was always all over the place.
Where was he living usually? Like all over the place?
He would tell me Portland, and then he would tell me Alberta. I'm like, I don't know where the hell you're living, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I can't pinpoint. I can't say. I don't know.
18 years, yeah, man. You're right.
How we're talking about that 18 years, dude. Like I was saying, like when I started computer mixing in high school, that was in '99. So like I got my name that year. That's why '99 always stuck out to me.
Yeah.
John Wong actually gave me that name. He gave me 2 options. It was either DJ Loco Weed or DJ Blenz. And this was, I didn't even know at the time there was a Blenz coffee downtown and on Robson and I forget, I think
Rard or something.
What was that street that crossed with Richards on Richards? There you go. It was
Richards on Richards.
Yeah, it was cross street Richards, and it was on the corner there. And then like within that year, I went downtown and I saw there was Blenz, and then like I guess that's where he must have saw the name and came up with it. So then I'm like, I'm gonna go with Blenz at that time. So it's been like 20 years rolling with Blenz now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like that's been crazy, such a long time I've been rolling with Blenz, and I never changed it because like I'm like.
You got a commitment to your name, huh?
Exactly. I don't think
I'm
I've
not committed to my names. You can tell by my maturity level, it changed every time, man.
It's fucked because like you'll listen to these like newer rappers and like they'll be asked, they'll be like, oh, how long you been rapping? They'll be like, a year, 6 months, and it's like I've been rapping for 20 years and I've never made a fucking dime off it.
Hey man, hey look man, the way I see it, man,
it's life, bro.
Number one, it kept us out of trouble. I was telling you that. I was actually having a conversation with Flacco about. I was looking back, and you know what? I'm not gonna get into details, but you know, with the Carlos situation, I think that music was a positive thing in his life, man. And
him,
I was saying that without us even knowing, we were doing it as a positive, constructive thing. And Flacco said that. It's like, what do you think? Our parents never said anything back then.
No, they never cared. They never give a fuck.
Yeah, man.
On the contrary, my mom was totally cool with me making all the fucking noise I wanted to in the basement. You know, like
no, my dad like made the room. He even bought me like this table to put my turntables on. I think you saw that little room I used to have.
Yeah. I remember that, man.
Oh man, I remember those days showing up to your house and you just had that shit blasting like fucking loud as fuck.
Yeah,
had to.
That was good times, man. I
Yeah,
mean, but it's a good.
Cool that our parents were cool. Your parents were hella cool too, Joe. Like they let us do whatever.
We had a booth.
Yeah, man. We like built a booth downstairs.
Yeah.
We had the booth. We had the parties. And
your house was like the fucking man cave, Joe. Like we fucking go to your house to chill. We go to your house to chill.
It's like you didn't even know we're coming. We're still show up. It's like, are you home?
That was good times, man. We had good times, man. It's just. You just live and learn from it, man. And it's at the end of the day, it's for the love of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Lowy, you know, everybody, whoever we touch base, even to a degree, like the people that you guys still talk to and everything, all through that experience, man. It was fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
People still remember us. It's kind of trippy, man, because I have people randomly just hitting me up on IG, and they're like, "Hey, man," I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, are you guys still making music?" I'm like, "What?"
Jeez,
I was like, "Are you serious?"
Just send them and let me hit it.
Oh man. Hey, true fact.
2020 remaster.
No doubt, eh?
You know, it's crazy, man. We were talking to Flacco about his recording equipment, and then he's like, "Yeah, man, I got the Audio Technica," and I'm like, "Oh man, sounds like a good mic, right?" And I started doing my research and shit. I'm like, "Yo, man," I'm like, "This is the fucking same mic we use for Let Me Hit It." So the shit that he's recording on right now, back then was like $1,000 that we had to rent it because it was so expensive.
Bro, it's still Joe. Derek actually just ordered the same mic that I have, and he paid like $650 or something.
So it went down like $400 in the last 15 years.
But you know what though? I think everything's. Have you guys noticed that everything's price is jacked up right now because of the Corona shit?
Yeah.
I mean, except for electronics, man. Fucking, like Apple Watches and shit are fucking cheap.
Like new ones?
Dude, the truth is, though, in my opinion, I know we're not gonna get into politics or nothing like that.
Watch, dang.
But Trump's fucked it all up, man. He's put so many like tariffs on fucking Chinese shit. We're fucking in a race war. We're dealing with the COVID-19. We're dealing with like 20 things at the same time. It's just crashing and burning, man. It's like seriously.
And we're literally like,
have you seen the price of food? Has it gone up in your area?
We're literally like halfway through the year.
Gas has gone up here too.
Yeah.
Dude, meat. I went to the store and I saw fucking prices of everything just went up, skyrocketing, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, bro.
Yeah, that meat, man.
Vegetables too, fruits.
No, man, just
beer.
But like, I remember when it got to the lowest point here for the gas, it was like 97 cents out here, and now it's back up to like 117 within like 2 weeks span.
They got this all fucking just like the toilet paper shit, man. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I remember when you were talking about that. You're like, "Oh, I can't even buy it at Walmart. I can't even." Find it.
You know what's funny, man? I told you guys before you guys got affected too.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
and it happened here too. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's fucking.
But have you guys been seeing anything or hearing anything on the news lately? Other than
about beside the politics shit, I heard about Nicki Minaj secretly meeting with 6ix9ine and making a music video.
Just recently?
Yeah.
Really?
So she went to his secret location and they recorded a music video.
I heard a snippet on his IG today of his new song. I don't know if it's his new song, but he's just like, he played it in his home studio with some other guy in the background, but the guy's wearing a mask, so you don't know who he is.
It's probably Nicki Minaj.
It was a dude. And then they were just holding like stacks of money to their ears and playing with money. It was just like ridiculous. Just this typical stuff 6ix9ine does on IG, right? Just to promote his music.
Another thing I came across talking about 6ix9ine and how cocky he is. 50 Cent, somebody in Australia. Have you seen that shit?
I heard about that.
Someone is like fucking with him that they're making murals of fucking 50 Cent as like a different character. So there's a mural of him with like blonde hair as Donald Trump with the 50 Cent. Yeah. They have 50 Cent as Mike Tyson. They have 50 Cent as like Oprah.
That's 6ix9ine too. Apparently that artist got beat up. And like they were saying he got beat up, and 50's like, I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, right.
So who knows, right?
Who
But no,
knows,
I was
man?
like all the riots going on right now with
It's happening here, man.
wait,
We
the
got an
stuff that
alert.
happened with George Floyd is pretty big right now.
Dude, man, that shit. I'm telling you, man. It's just. I'm not trying to get political here or nothing like that, but it's just going on fire, man. You're dealing, like I said, the tariffs, the food, everything, and then he's blaming China for the virus and saying Chinese people are
Yeah.
the problem. He's putting, Latinos in deportation, and then now cops are killing black people. Like everything is just fucking.
Is the election this year?
Yeah, November.
November, right?
Yeah,
It'd be interesting, eh?
man. We're keeping our binoculars on our Trump neighbors on the
I
street.
was seeing this thing with George Floyd. Like there were some government agents allegedly placing bricks on like across downtown, so people would have things to throw to start the
serious?
riots. Yeah, like
Oh,
I
I
saw
saw
this
it.
video. This guy was showing like these bricks are here, but there's no construction in sight. Why is this pile of bricks here?
What's the name of you guys remember? Have you guys seen the Batman Begins movie with Liam Neeson when Chris
Like the first ones, like back in the day.
the Dark Knight ones? The Dark Knight.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
you remember
Dark-
how there was the League or whatever that
The
wanted
shadows, the league,
Shadow. Yeah, I feel like where's
Shadow
our
League?
Batman? Where's our Batman? He needs to say shit.
Bane.
The League of Shadows.
The League of
Yeah.
Shadows or some shit like that.
Yeah, totally.
Sounds like that. I wouldn't doubt it, man. There's a lot of fucked up shit out there, man.
it's
Just gotta
crazy.
be safe out there, man. Just gotta be safe.
Yeah,
Flacco has a point. This is the worst time to be a fucking teenager or a fucking young adult.
to go through all this stuff, definitely. Just like with Lily too, right? She's going through this stuff. Diego's going through this stuff, and they're like so young right now, right? So they're seeing what the world's gonna be
Yeah.
like, right?
It's
Fully
fucking crazy,
affecting.
man.
It sucks for them, but
Can you,
gotta be
imagine
for them,
being
right?
Yeah, can you imagine being an 18-year-old or 19? You can't go to clubs. You
Hmm.
can't meet with girls. You can't go outside because the cops are gonna kill you. Everything,
Yeah.
That's crazy shit, man. I heard Vancouver's also not immune to that. I heard about the Chinese, Asian discrimination shit going around.
I don't know. I
Well,
didn't hear about that, but
Metrotown, they're like pushing people, old seniors. They're like graffitiing Chinatown, and
really, yeah.
yeah, man, it's fucking crazy, man.
But it just feels like now everyone's out and about. It's like seems like it's getting back to normal now because June 1st out here, they're gonna start letting people go camping too now. Hotels are gonna open.
It's all
People
you know
to
what.
travel and tourism's gonna reopen too.
Well, that's the thing. This is what I see, man. At the end of the day, something I've learned from all this, it's all about money, man.
Yeah.
It was never about our safety. It's all about taking effect. But I don't honestly, I don't see it working out because if you're gonna open Europe, everybody's gonna get reinfected again, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how they're gonna make that happen. I just think it's like an oasis right now for the summer, and then back in the wintertime, we're gonna be back right where we are right now. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion, though.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I think that they've already come so far with, like, it was hard enough to fucking get people used to being on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
So they should just keep the shit going until we know for sure that the shit's fucking good to go. Like,
It's gonna be tough the second time, man. It's gonna be worse the second time if it does
course,
go
man.
through,
Yeah.
because people are gonna be so like, I don't want to go back to lockdown.
yeah, exactly.
then-
It's gonna
and
be
then-
harder to fucking lock people down, man.
Is this gonna be? I don't even want to think about it, man. Just start stacking up your toilet paper and
Total-
shit. Gotta buy a freezer. Gotta
Go
buy a
get it.
freezer.
You better start getting all your meat you can, Joe. Start freezing up your meat and chicken and poultry and all that.
Fuck, man. I'm gonna have to take out a loan, man, because shit is so expensive, man. I'm just gonna start eating chicken. That's what I'm gonna
Or
start
just buy
doing.
grow some chickens.
Yeah, in the backyard.
Chicken in a can.
Oh,
What?
that's nasty
Oh,
shit.
man. I don't
Have
know
you
about
seen
that.
it? Have you
No,
seen
I
that?
haven't.
Dude,
There's a
it is
thing called
fucking
chicken in the can?
yeah. So they
Nice.
actually Walmart sells them.
We have a bunch of fucking like spam cans and
Burger
shit
in a
like that
can? I've seen
in our
that.
pantry. Like,
They got the first what's it called, the impossible spam, where it's actually not real meat, but it supposedly tastes just like spam.
when all this shit, like when people were talking about this shit coming to like America and North America, when it was happening in China, what we started doing was every time we'd go grocery shopping, we'd
You
spend
buy a little bit more.
Yeah, we'd spend at least 20 or 25 bucks on like shit to put away. So we have a pantry that's like just fucking full of shit, bro. Like,
So
it's-
did you
it's
feel guilty
fucking
after you went to
stocked.
McDonald's?
Yeah, last week I did. Last week I did, but
Wait a
Seriously,
minute. You went back to back to McDonald's?
Yeah, I went
Going
last.
back to back.
I went last Saturday and then again today.
What
Yeah.
did you have last Saturday that made you go back today?
The Big Mac.
Flacco, literally, and you had me venting to Steph. I'm like, man, I was just eating like a fucking pizza. I'm like, Flacco here has a bench press and shit, and I'm like, I need to do something, and he's eating McDonald's all the time.
No, but see, that's my cheat, bro. Like I've been so on point with my eating. I only eat fucking what's it called? Salads and meat. Like that's all I eat. That's the only thing I eat. And I only drink water, bro. Like that's all I drink, man.
I've been eating Popeye's chicken, so.
Dude, I just had some Ito. You guys know what Ito is?
I've never heard of it. What is that?
Like Japanese food.
No,
I love Japanese food. I love
it's called Ito.
Japanese food.
And,
It's like a
got
chain?
myself a shrimp teriyaki. Ooh.
Ooh,
oh, nice.
that's
That
fucking
sounds
dope.
delicious.
Fucking love teriyaki, man.
I love Asian cuisine. Is just
You know something I miss from Vancouver, man? I miss sushi so bad.
Oh,
Sushi
bro,
here
don't even
is
get me
disgusting here, man.
bro. But why would it be disgusting where you're at? Because you live on the coast, bro.
Because I live on the coast, but shit, the majority of shit. I mean, I'm not trying to be racist, but it's mostly ran by Mexicans, right? So it doesn't come out tasting the same. Like
I don't
Panda
want
Express.
I don't want no damn fucking Mexican fucking
Sushi.
sushi.
My parents came down one time,
Like
right?
a roll with beans in it and stuff.
So I know you know.
What the fuck is
I'll
this?
still eat that.
Why
I'll
is,
still eat that.
why is there fucking Valentina sauce on my sushi?
Dude, literally, my parents came down. You know, we had lunch. They came down to visit me. This is before the lockdown, right? They just came down to visit for a weekend, and then we're like, oh, well, let's go get some Panda Express. You guys know what Panda Express is, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, we were just talking and shit, right? I literally was just looking around. I'm like, everybody in the kitchen, the cashier, they're all Mexicans, right? As soon as we take that food and we eat it, and we eat it at home, right? We're like, my dad is like, this is the most Mexican influenced Chinese food I've ever had in my life.
It's like fusion, right? Like a fusion type. Of
Yeah, so like that's who makes the sushi down here. So it doesn't taste the same at all, man.
Bro, you think sushi's bad over there? Try coming over here where there's no fucking ocean for like
Fucking
fucking
expensive
hundreds and
too,
hundreds
man.
of miles, bro.
It's expensive as hell down here, man.
One little piece of salmon here, bro, like one little piece of salmon, like for me and Lily and Letty to eat for one night is probably like fucking $20. Like it's
Here-
just fucking expensive, bro.
So out of the full size of salmon, just say like a quarter of it, we pay $15.
Yeah, like
I
that's
mean, it's
fucking
pretty
awesome,
fucking
bro.
it's fucking expensive for us.
No, but it's
For you,
cheaper than
for-
it is.
But like,
for us, man.
what kind of sushi do you guys eat? Like, do you guys have varieties, or do you guys like?
It's not the same
you
in
guys-
my area.
No, but what do you eat though? Usually when you have sushi.
I love it all, man. I love Philly rolls. I love fucking the real California rolls with the real shrimp, and the real crab. I like the other one. I forgot what it's called.
Dynamite.
Yeah, fucking love the
I
dynamite.
love me some shrimp tempura.
Yeah,
I love
shrimp
tempura. Even the tempura here is nasty.
I like it all,
tempura.
bro. I like it all. You guys ever had fried eel?
No.
I forgot what the roll's called. It's fucking good, bro. It's really good.
Dude, it's just not the same. That's what one of the first things I actually do when I go back to Vancouver is eat the sushi or go to Nando's.
Bro, you know what's funny? When I went to John's wedding in November in Vancouver,
Yeah.
we had this sushi spot that we used to go to down the street. It was you know where Woody's is?
Yeah.
Whitlam?
Yeah.
It was literally right beside Woody's, and fucking we used to go there all the time. And then when we went now, I guess the people that owned it sold the place, so it wasn't them anymore. But the sushi was still bomb. I think what they did was like they sold the restaurant with the recipes and shit, and went somewhere else.
Dude, there used to be this place in Burnaby that actually was a cafe, and they used to make these incredible chicken wraps. It's like the most incredible. They would put the rice and the chicken was like nice and moist and like nicely like grilled.
Yeah.
Fucking, they made the best fucking wraps, man. And then I went back there and then like demolished the entire area. And it's like some areas I don't even recognize, Blenz. I don't know how you do it when you go visit family out there, man.
Yeah,
been
bro.
out for a while. I have not
tripped
been
me the
out there.
fuck out, bro. There's like fucking sky rises
Sky
all
trains.
over Coquitlam.
So yeah, no, I
Guy
know that.
trains.
In
That's
Coquitlam,
fucked,
yeah,
bro.
no, like
Yeah.
I go. That's the one place I usually go to when I go back to Vancouver because that's where my parents are. But yeah, seeing even at night, it looks awesome because the lights are
Yeah.
lit up on the sky, so it looks like a
Like a purple
line,
color, right?
Purple line going all around the SkyTrain.
I was walking to
cool.
Lafarge Park with stuff, and then we're like walking around, and there's people
We
like,
actually took
with wine.
We
Walking around with wine, dude, like in the fucking park. You're allowed to do that now.
We traveled from North Van took a C bus over, and then we jumped on the SkyTrain and went all the way to Coquitlam on the SkyTrain. So we didn't even have to drive, and we took like public transportation the whole way. It's so easy just traveling that way, and then go instead of driving. Sometimes
you know what the funny thing is though, all the Vancouver people moved to Coquitlam, and everybody that used to live in Coquitlam, I've noticed, all live like in Mission or Abbotsford. Like everyone, like I ran into people, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks nice though. I like how it looks with all the.
Can you imagine if Latin Styles was doing that shit? You remember that time we did that show at that restaurant where Christina used to work, and then people are complaining in Sky. Flaco, you've been there before. We went to that restaurant. We met up that
there. We had a picture with Diego too.
Yeah,
remember that picture?
Yeah, I remember
so
that.
Blenz got a DJ gig, and he was DJing. It was like Friday night, like at 4:00, right? And then there was a skyscraper or some shit like that, like a residential like tower there. And a lot of people kept coming down and complaining about the noise. I'm like, you live right next to a fucking restaurant in downtown.
Yeah,
like
they wanted me to DJ on the patio.
Yeah.
I was DJing on the patio and
people complaining. Noise. It's
there.
like, why do you pick a fucking place next to a restaurant and mall, man? That's crazy.
True. But that's like the place to be now, like in that area there in Coquitlam.
They're building up. Did you hear about the nightclub?
Growing there.
Did you hear about the nightclub complex they're building there?
Is that still going through?
Yeah, so supposedly they're going to make that entire area like an open plaza, so you can walk around like a
district.
Plaza of Nations.
Yeah,
and then they're going to fucking.
I saw that
nightclub,
picture.
like 3 floors. They're going to have a pool inside. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's going to be like.
Money,
I think Coquitlam's going to be like the center of everything eventually. That's what I think, but who knows? That's what I've always thought. Like it's going to be the center to get to everywhere.
It's in the middle, right? That's the thing.
That's what I mean. It's going to be the center of everything.
It's fucking crazy, man. Crazy times, man. I think about, we all grew up in Centennial. The 151 bus. I don't know if you guys took that bus.
I
took that
bus. I was the one that took you to Coquitlam Center, right?
Flaco, I'm like, Flaco would text me, hey, man, I'm on the 152. I'm coming down. We're going to record some music, man. You got some food? You might. I don't want to ask you, but, man, you got some food to eat?
I'm hungry. It's like, why not?
All the takeouts, the Denny nights. Hey, that thing you added me on Facebook, that Tri-Cities 90s kids or whatever.
The group, yeah.
When they show that picture of the Denny's, I'm like, everybody has a story. Yeah. Anybody who grew up in Coquitlam has a story from that Denny's, man.
Yeah.
That was the only one that was in Coquitlam, right? Like right there.
The one on North Road?
Yeah.
In front of Lohi.
Yep.
Petting your eggs. Remember that time we went with Spectacular and everybody, and then you're just petting your eggs?
Wasn't that the Wild Coyote?
After the Wild Coyote, you were there with
the Wild Coyote, yeah. Good time.
You want a beer? Yeah, man, that was a long time, man. That's crazy. The Wild Coyote's not even there anymore, right?
No, I have no idea, man. Probably not. It's been like so long.
How are nightclubs going to stay afloat? I don't know how they're going to do that.
I think they'll probably eventually have like only a certain amount of people out in to my capacity. Probably like half of what they had now.
I was going to tell you. This is what I was going to tell you guys before we started recording. So they're coming out with these suits that actually look like a spacesuit. And it has an LED light. Has an LED light, and then the DJ's gonna throw a Bluetooth signal, and you can party in that suit. But I'm like, dude, that's just gonna be stupid, man.
Why would you want to pay for that? I would just stay home and listen to some music instead of dressing up in a spacesuit to try to like go clubbing in a spacesuit.
Bro, on Hulu, there's a show called what's it?
Ultimate Tag.
Dave. The show's called Ultimate Tag is dope too. Dave. The show is called Dave, and it's Little Dicky, right?
Oh yeah.
It's loosely based on like Little Dicky and his rap career or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But on one episode, he goes to this party, and it's or not him, like his engineer goes to this party, and it's called like a silent party. And what it is essentially is he's DJing the party, right? But everybody that's at the party is wearing fucking like these huge fucking headphones, right? And the music that he's playing off his computer is Bluetooth is Bluetoothing into everybody's fucking shit. So essentially everybody's dancing and shit. But if you take your headphones off, it's like it's no music. It's trippy, man. It looks fucked, bro, but it looks like it'd be a good time though. Like for the young generation, like me, I could never. I'd be like,
I could never. Yeah, we did it old school.
The Little
But for
Dicky's
the-
pretty sick too.
Oh,
Like,
bro,
I heard a couple of his freestyles like
He
on
can rap.
Sway. I'm like,
He
Jesus,
can rap, bro.
he can rap, man. He's good.
Yeah, he can rap, bro.
Like he can freestyle pretty good too.
Like I told you guys, this coronavirus thing, regardless of how it ends, it fucking revolutionized everything, man. We're gonna see new technology, new things. I think we're gonna actually be less in contact with each other, man. I think people are now gonna deliver now on food, apps, everything. You know.
Yo, that's
I think it's the end.
You guys see that launch today with SpaceX?
Yeah,
I
saw
heard
that
about
shit.
it. That
Dude,
it like blew up. Or
They're
something.
doing that too now. Like they're trying to send like people make it more affordable to go to Mars, Moon. They're gonna build a whole society up there and stuff. That's crazy.
I wouldn't trust going on that shit, man. I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Why, that's
I don't
what
like
they go-
me.
that's-
I don't do well with rockets, man. Unless we do a Latin Star reunion up in
I
there.
don't know how much that would cost to fly up there, man. That'd be crazy. But they launched it and the rocket landed back on its like by
Drone.
itself, but not the
Nice.
actual. They're still in space right now till tomorrow morning. 10:29 is when they arrive back into where's NASA's thing, the Space Center. Where is
It's
that?
in Florida. There's two.
They're
There's
gonna,
one
yeah,
in
they're landing.
Houston. There's Houston and then there's the Kennedy one in
I
Florida.
think it's the Houston one. They're gonna be landing back tomorrow, so they're staying up there for a couple hours just to see how it is because they're just floating around the Earth right now. That's crazy just to think that.
Shit. We're living in the future, man. That's
Yeah.
really the
And
truth,
the
man.
suits that they're wearing, like, reminded me of the suits that you showed us in that picture with the gloves or whatever. It's kind of like a futuristic suit.
Dude,
they're
it's
using
just
now.
changing everything, man. It's a whole new world now, man. Where everything after this is just everything. It's like that revolution, you know what I mean? Where, you know, you have the industrial revolution. This is going to be like that. The one where we actually start seeing people do different things, like, you know, Pizza Hut. Remember the dine-in Pizza Hut back in the days?
Yeah,
And now it's like, I think all the restaurants are going to go with that model.
just grab and go.
They're now selling you, like, restaurants on here are now selling you beer and liquor to take home.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that. Mods does that.
Yeah. I
Pizza.
can't believe they have a Mods Pizza out there. Like, out of all
literally.
places.
Dude, it's just
Only
down
the first
road
one in
here.
Canada, too.
Oh no, it's just down the road.
It's
good.
like a
Said
make
good
your
beer.
own
It's good
pizza, Plago.
It is good.
Okay.
It's like a Subway for pizza. You
Yeah.
can pick your own toppings, and it's pretty good. I like it.
Bro, you know what's funny? I was watching a fucking Seinfeld episode, and Kramer, you know how he always comes up. Do you guys ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch them once in a while.
Kramer always has these like fucked up like fucking ideas, and one of his ideas was actually a place where you can show up and make your own pizza pie, and they're laughing at him, like laughing their ass off, and they're like, why the fuck would somebody want to go to a fucking restaurant and make their own food? But
Yeah.
that's technically what fucking Subway is, and like
Yeah.
fucking Taco Del Mar and all these
Yep.
fucking
All these places,
right?
yeah, man. It's crazy.
Oh, I just had mucho burrito yesterday. You guys ever
Mucho
had that?
burrito, bro. I love mucho burrito.
I've never had that before.
I had the shrimp. Oh man,
I haven't had it.
Shrimp.
I haven't had it since I left Toronto, but we had one like down the street from where we lived, and
So
fucking,
good.
it was. Oh,
They
so
never
good.
had it when I was up there, man. So
I'd always order the fucking the mucho, please.
Yeah,
it's like the
the
fuck-
sumo.
it's like
the sumo or the
it's like-
mucho.
the mucho is like, lady's like, are you gonna finish that? I'm like, yes. Are you gonna finish yours?
There's also a sumo size too. You can get the sumo size is bigger than the mucho. I think.
I never seen the.
I've never
sumo
gone
size.
it, but I got that yesterday. But Mods is right beside it too, Dro. So next time you're here, I'll show you where it is
we're coming, man. Coming soon. Whenever this shit is over with.
when the borders reopen.
Yeah, man. So I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up. We want to thank everybody who's listening to our first podcast. This is kind of like an introduction to
Yeah,
who
definitely.
we are, letting people know who we were and what we were doing and what we're doing now. I mean, do you guys want to close it up with anything?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for being a part of this journey that we're doing with the podcast. And I want all the listeners to make sure we're going to be putting them out. Not sure yet on what, hopefully like Apple Tidal and all that stuff. SoundCloud for sure.
YouTube
we'll
for
try to
sure.
figure that out on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing this like bi-weekly and dropping them the Monday following. So like today's Saturday, we'll be dropping this hopefully on Monday, June 1st. So
Yeah.
thank you to you guys and the listeners for tuning in.
DJ Blenz, the program director. Anything? Anything?
If anybody out there wants in, it's up to Blenz.
We're also taking advertisers. Oh yeah,
It's got to go through me first.
the program director.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, you guys.
Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Look, there's the three wise men.
This is the 1, 2, 3 wise men. We three friends on a podcast together again. again. This is the one, two, three wise men. We talk about what's been going on and what's happening. This is the one, two, three wise men. We got Koncreto, DJ Blenz. We are the one, two, three wise men. We are the one, two, three wise men. This is the one, two, three wise men. Three wise men. Three wise men.